Tyran Wishart, welcome to the podcast, brother.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Mate, how you feeling? Beautiful morning.
What
man.
a day.
What a morning. How you feeling?
I'm glad you contacted me because I reckon I was in for a lazy day.
Gotcha.
You got me out of the house and went for a surf.
Mate.
Good morning, early start.
Bro,
Perfect.
Rolled down to Torquay, not a cloud in the sky, mate. I don't know, like there's something about that part of the coastline, right? Because I don't come down here very often to Melbourne. But when I do and we can squeeze a little wave in, mate, best ever.
Yeah, it's different. The coastline's so different, like especially like to the east coast.
Yeah.
But there's just something about it, hey.
How often are you getting down there? Recovery days, like what's the play? Because obviously like NRL, for those who are listening, Melbourne Storm, I imagine schedule can get pretty gnarly at times. How often can you get down there?
Yeah, honestly, this year we probably haven't been going down. No, not enough. Not enough as what we'd like. But the last month, I reckon I've been like two or three times.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. Any chance I can get to go down, it's good for just, I guess, health in general. Like. Reminds me a lot of home, especially that part of the coast, like Janjuk and Torquay. Very similar to Gerringong, where I'm from. So it's a little fix, I guess.
Yeah, it was such a treat. I remember calling you last week. I was like, bruh, what are you moving Sunday? I was like, any chance we can get a wave and do a potty? He's like, fuck, let's go. How good.
Yeah.
But it's mate, it's cool that you've even got like a cool little crew because you were saying there's a bunch of boys that lean into surfing as well, right?
Yeah. So obviously Harry surfs. Got Trent Liero, loves to surf. He's from the sunny coast. Jonah Pezzett surfs a bit. We actually did the crew of us. We went to Bali last year, which was sick. Chasing waves. And also Aaron Bellamy, Craig's son. He's on the coaching staff at the Storm. So we got a crew. It's always good to get down together. It's pretty hard. Everyone's schedule's always different, but we all love it. Man,
it wasn't like I knew it was going to be cold, but bro, I remember like I did like 3 duck dives this morning and I came up and I'm looking at you. I'm like, bro, my head, I'm like got the biggest brain freeze right now. My hands, like I couldn't close my fingers to paddle. It was like I was paddling by the end of it after like an hour or so. And I felt like the biggest cougar.
Yeah, mate. Well, I saw you look at me and I knew exactly what you were going through. It's so heavy and mate, you were tough. You had a 3 mil wetty on, no booties. I had the thick one, booties on.
But you were rolling no leggy, which was very brave on you because that would have been a very long swim in if you had up losing the board.
I cooked that. I brought the extra board for Keegs and forgot to pack the extra leggy. So
you would have been rolling. I was like, who's this pro, man? That's so sick.
Far from a pro. I was a bit scared. I didn't want to go anything too big because I would have been doing the swim of shame, I reckon.
How do you mix it up between urban surf at all? Like because it's mad that place is like it's not super close to Richmond where you guys are, but it is somewhat. Like, do you guys get in there at all?
Yeah, like obviously to get either side of the coast, like you got the eastern side, like the peninsula, and then also west where you got the surf coast, but they're both like you got to make a day of it to get down there. So to have urban surf sort of only half an hour away, it helps. Yeah. But middle of winter's a tough job. It's freezing. I went middle of winter last year. It was like 10 degrees. It was honestly like an ice bath.
Do you need booties, gloves, headpiece, right?
Yeah, I did it in booties and wetty, and everyone else was in like gloves, hood. Yeah. And I was struggling, so
roll straight into the spa bath. Afterwards.
Yeah, I did. I was in there for like half an hour. Yeah. Didn't want to leave,
bro. I'm first of all grateful to have you on, brother. I think this is going to be such a fun little conversation. Like I love obviously doing these conversations, but I love doing them with mates, and I love the fact that we could like come in last night, like cruise down, like boost down to Torquay, surf in the morning. Have a couple little coffees, little bacon egg rolls, and we'll get to come in today. Yeah. Mate, before like I guess we get into it, I kind of want to get like a little bit of background and like what growing up looked like for you in Gerringong. Like was it always like we obviously do a bit of surfing, the footy's integrated in there. Like what did growing up look like for you?
Yeah, mate, I was so lucky with my childhood. Like I'm one of 4. I'm the youngest. older brother Callum, two sisters in between, Riley and Kelsey, and then myself. There's 4 of us in 4 years, so
Mum and dad are busy.
They're busy. Obviously, couldn't keep their hands off each other. But like so lucky. Being that close in age, I guess you're sort of forced to get along with each other, and we did. We had, we still do have great relationships, but mum and dad as well. Very lucky to have them in our lives. But yeah, like you said, growing up in Gerringong, a small coastal town on South Coast in New South Wales, it was the best. Like, you obviously got the surf, which was summer and winter all year round, really. But then winter you had footy, summer cricket. Love my sport, pretty much anything. I'd give anything a go, really.
What came first, surfing or footy?
Probably surfing. Yeah. I reckon. Obviously, you can't start footy until I think I was 5 or something. But I used to go out on the soft top with Dad, and he'd push me onto waves. But I think I started footy at 5. I just remember going and watching my brother play, and like any younger brother, you just want to do what your older brother's doing. And he was playing, and as soon as I got the chance, I signed up and got into it.
Is there any times where you're like, because my buddy Carl Lawton, he's at Cowboys, and his older brother Kane, I think, is like 2 or 3 years older than him, and he would always say, like, because Kane got to, I think he debuted, I think he maybe played like a couple of games, but Carl's drive was to just play just as many more games than him, just to get it over like his brother, because there's like naturally got to be that competitive edge. Did you guys have that at all?
For sure. Honestly, not really. Like, we're similar but also very different. To be honest, like, I pretty much did anything that he was doing. Like, he'd skate, I started skating. Surf, and I was probably the annoying little shadow behind him at times. But there wasn't, for me anyway, there wasn't any competitiveness, I guess.
But it's cool that he was doing like cool things. Like, like, imagine if he was doing just like, I don't know, boring old things. It's like cool you got into surfing and skating at such a young, and footy, which is also like such a sliding door. Like, I think about sliding door moments all the time. Like, imagine if he was playing tennis. Or like just something that was so left field that didn't even allow you to get into that. And even the fact, because I know your old boy, he played professional footy as well. He played for New South Wales, played for Australia as well, grand final. What was that like growing up? Like, how's the relationship with your old boy? Does that have any influence in wanting to progress and play NRL?
Yeah, for sure. Like, a lot of people ask about it and think it's a negative thing, and they always ask that, but it's not at all. Like, especially being in a similar position to what he was in, like, and seeing him, you know, in that like New South Wales jersey, Australian jersey, it's like you have a lot of like a sense of pride about it, because you're like, wow, that's a massive achievement. So I guess he wasn't at all pushy about me playing footy or anything.
Because that's what I was going to ask. Like, was there any conversation with him growing up, like subtly, like directing you a little bit more towards footy, or not really?
Not at all. Like, he always coached my brother growing up. And honestly, whatever we did, our parents were so supportive. Whatever we wanted to try. Like, I remember being a little skate park rat going through my skating phase when I was younger, and mate, I'd hit him or mum up like, can you come down, get the video recorder, or can we go, you know, up to Kiama and go to Kiama skate park, and probably would have got annoying at times, but they were always saying yes, and very lucky.
Yeah, we were talking about that this morning, like how fortunate we are that we've just got like parents that are just invested, right? And just want to help. And having that support there must be so huge. Like, I remember when you guys were in the grand final, I watched a clip leading into this conversation around because you had your old boy played in a grand final in like 99, but was playing the Storm, and now you were in the Storm playing in a grand final. And I think they asked him something about like, oh, is there any like bitterness towards it? And your dad, your old boy, is just like, no way. Like he's playing it, like my son's playing in grand final. Like that's so cool.
Yeah.
I'll get to be a part of it, right?
For sure. He, like when I first had contact with the Storm and we're talking, about a potential deal. He was so pumped.
Really,
Yeah, and a lot of people were like, aren't you a bit sort of bitter after the grand final or whatever? But no, it's not the case. Like, obviously, that's a great club to be a part of, and I'm so stoked to be down here.
Hey, tell me, like, growing up, like, were you, because even like when I think about guys and girls who are going into professional sport, like, typically they might have like, they're either like super talented and just naturally just flow into it, or they have to work their ass off and just grind it out. What camp do you think you fell into, or do you reckon it was a bit of both?
Probably a bit of both. I was always a very small kid, like, didn't develop till probably, I reckon like year 11, year 11 or 12. I was probably like 16, 17. I've sort of got my first growth spurt. But so that was always like playing bigger kids. Like, was always a bit tough, but it sort of forces you. I wouldn't change a thing because it sort of forces you to get a bit better at your skills, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say, what did it teach you?
Yeah, it sort of taught me to, because I wasn't just going to get the ball and run over someone. It was, I probably tried a couple of times and just got absolutely leveled. But
learned the hard way.
Yeah. Probably just like it sort of helped me in, my passing, kicking, everything that's really important now.
Yeah.
Like, so I wouldn't change a thing about that. But I wasn't like I never played Harold Mats, which is obviously
the junior reps.
The junior reps.
Really?
SG ball, I ended up playing but didn't make it originally. I just got called in late. I remember not making that and I thought it was the end of the world. It's like, you know how it is. But eventually got picked in that, and then from there went into under 20s, and that's when I sort of started filling out a little bit.
Remember when you're a kid and like you don't make a team and you think it's like the world is over. You think like that's the craziest thing that's like ever, because that's probably the hardest thing that you've gone through when you're like that young. That's why I think like those messages are really great to let those young kids know who are going through it. It's like, oh, I'm only like, I'm young. I'm not big enough. I'm not strong enough. It's like, oh, just give it time,
Yeah. It's the cliche. Like everyone, talks about it, but it's so true. Like, like I said, I wouldn't change it, but it's sort of those times that, like they were obviously, I never lost my love for the game. I always loved it. I just loved playing with mates pretty much. That's sort of why I did it. But yeah, obviously having like a team in a small town, we were lucky. We always got enough numbers and everything. But I look back at those times growing up and I love them. Like best times with your mates.
At what point did you think, oh wow, this could actually become a career or something that I actually want to do and actually strive for? Was that something that you thought about when you were younger? Was that always the goal, or was it not until you're a little bit older?
Yeah, honestly, I can't remember a time not wanting to play like footy professionally. That's why it's pretty cool to sit back and think now like your younger self would be pretty pumped. So you got to remind yourself every now and then. But like I said, I don't think there was ever a time where I didn't want to do it. Playing a lot of other sports, did a lot of other things, but footy was always the one for me.
If you weren't going to play footy, like if you could put yourself into another professional sport, what do you think it would be?
If I was good enough, we were talking about it today. Surfing would be so sick. Traveling the world and seeing different things and getting paid to do it. But at the same time, like it's such a competitive sport and individual sport, obviously. And I think it's getting better now. I'm not 100% sure, but making money through surfing was pretty hard back in the day.
Yeah, fully.
But I'd probably say surfing,
Mate, that's so, even like not even surfing professionally, but just being like a free surfer.
Yeah.
And just we were talking about it this morning, like these guys who would like pitch ideas to surf brands and do it. Like we were talking about Tyran Martin, how he did this like couple week trip on like motorcycles in New Zealand with his surfboards on the side and just cruising through New Zealand. Like all those boys who went to Russia and just were surfing these like insane slabs. And I'm like, imagine pitching that to a brand of like, pull the trigger, we'll do it.
It's so cool. Like I was telling you about the Jacob Wilcox. He's a surfer from WA, and he's done a couple episodes like I think it's called Cape to Cape, and I don't know the exact spot in WA, but he's walking it and sort of dropping a couple episodes.
Fishing as well.
Fishing, surfing. It's good to watch. Like, and it's a cool way to do it.
But I honestly think about that like all the time, not from like the fact of like wanting to be a professional. So like, would it be great? Yeah, it'd be so sick. Yeah. But that idea of like, I guess like building a life that you want to actually live. And since leaving footy, I was like, I think, well, what does that look like? Like, what do you actually want to do? And I'm like, well, fuck, for me, it's like having like these really cool conversations and kind of like intertwining it. Like I was talking to you about building out the troopy and doing more like podcasts on the road, because that intertwines like camping and surfing and mates and all those things and capturing that. Yeah. And I think like even having a conversation with a heap of our mates who have recently retired, just that understanding of like, sometimes you got to be on the tools for a little bit, but trying to figure out what you really want to do post for is like so sick.
Yeah. That's all. Like I got no clue what I'm going to do.
But you've been super proactive though.
Yeah. Early on, like I've done a degree in construction management and property, and I didn't go full time into footy probably as early as I wanted, but I wouldn't change that either, because I was able to get my degree done and really chip away at that. Whether I use that after or not, I've always sort of been into building and construction and everything. But that time allowed me to do that, which was really good. But who knows what I want to do. But I definitely know that I'd want to do something that I enjoy, similar to what you're doing. Like you found what makes you happy, like, and it looks so sick. So still a little bit of time to work out. But
imagine like a little Wish series like on YouTube, just walking along the West Coast surfing and pulling in the crew, mate. Bro, that would be something that I would watch.
Yeah, for sure.
Mate,
I don't know how he does it though. We were saying today, like the sharks over there, they're pretty hectic.
Well, mate, even on the Goldie, there's been like 4 shark sightings. And we're in like the midst of training for like a heap of just like doing a heap of like open ocean swimming. And it plays in the back of your mind like, am I going to get nipped here? Like even one of the boys here is like, fuck, should we like start swimming with a knife attached to our ankle like when we're spearing? And I'm like, mate, if a shark's going to want to get us, he's going to get us. Like maybe if we swim in a little pack and we put the chunkier boys like on the further out, like, I don't know.
Yeah. That video of that fella at Cabarita a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy,
Mate, gnarly. Well, I actually caught up with your brother last week, Cal, and he was saying he was surfing Casuarina. And did he tell you this? He was surfing Casuarina like maybe 2 weeks ago, and he was out with his mates in the ski, and the boys were just like bouncing up and down the coast. And so he was sitting there, and it was like kind of after a bit of rain, it was super murky, and we get that real eerie feeling, and you're like, fuck, when are the boys coming? And then later that day, his mate called him and was like, mate, you were surfing Casuarina. I think it was Casuarina. It's like, mate, there was a shark that like poked its head up at like 4 different groups like along that coastline. And you think, mate, that would scare the shit out of you, right?
Yeah, for sure. You get that feeling a bit, hey?
Yeah. Have you had any shark sightings or any?
Nah. Touch wood. I don't. But it's always in the back of your head.
Right.
I get it more like I used to love diving and spearing when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's as I'm getting older, I'm getting a bit more aware, but I don't do it as much anymore.
I think we're getting soft in our old age, bro.
Like I'd get home from school and a few times I'd just go out by myself, but there's no way in the world I'm doing that now.
Mate, you mentioned something before about taking your time making your debut, right? And you talked about how you typically what you thought would be like a little bit later as a 22-year-old. Mate, run me through the progression from, I guess, like being in the under-20s competition and the feeling of wanting to make your NRL debut, but going through the process of actually getting there. Run me through how you navigated that.
Yeah, it's like played my first game at 22, and like I laugh about it now because when you're growing up, you sort of think, you look at all the good players and they debut at 19, 20, have a long career. And like I was 22, like I'm so grateful to be able to play a game, that early. But for me, it was I always, played juniors at the Dragons under 20s, and because that was the closest club to home, I guess. Like Illawarra, Gerringong's only 30 minutes from Wollongong. I was lucky enough to be a part of that system, and loved it. But once I played under 20s in 2018 and 19.
Yeah.
And then after that, did a couple of pre-seasons with the first grade squad. But I just couldn't crack a top squad, spot. But I never lost. Like I always wanted to keep having a crack at it. I did 2 pre-seasons back to back in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah.
The first one I did was really good. It was under Paul McGregor was still the coach, and I loved it. It was a hard pre-season. Your first one always is, hey. But I was like, this is what I want to do for sure. Ended up playing 1 game of reserve grade, and then because I wasn't contracted full time, the New South Wales Cup, the competition got cancelled.
Sure.
Which was heartbreaking for so many people because they obviously love playing footy. And it was there was a lot of uncertainty around like what was going to happen that year. The competition got fully cancelled, and then that's when I started looking for work because I got made redundant at the job I was doing, which was through uni. I had a cadetship, and then got a job with a good mate back home, just labouring, and then started my apprenticeship in carpentry. And then from there, I ended up playing in 2020. They allowed the local comp to come back.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I played a full year at Gerringong, which was so sick.
Just with mates?
Yeah.
How fun though.
Honestly, I loved it. It was, looking back, it was one of the funnest years of footy, and was able to win the comp, which was
sick.
Amazing. Yeah, so I always wanted to do that, like play a year at home and get a premiership. So I was able to tick that off. And then 2021, did another pre-season with the Dragons, but still wasn't full time. I think I played about 3 or 4 games in the New South Wales Cup comp, and then I got injured. I did like a bad sort of high ankle sprain, and I wasn't playing. And then I reckon 6 weeks into rehab, I got a call from the Storm, and then it was so random because I wasn't playing at the time. I was like, what are they keen on? Like, did they even watch me play? But from there, that's when I joined up with them mid-year in 21, and haven't looked back. It's been the best move.
That's tell me about is it frustrating getting to the point where, it seems like a lot of things are outside of your control as well, or what can seem to be outside of your control, like COVID, like poor me, like my do your high ankle sprain, like, is it frustrating?
A little bit. It was frustrating for especially people around my age through that sort of 2020 and 21, because you felt like you couldn't really progress because there wasn't much footy being played other than NRL, and if you weren't contracted, you weren't really playing much footy.
Yeah, and
that's the only way to get better, right? Like playing is the only way to get better, or the best way to get better. So it was frustrating, but luckily for me in 21, I got a chance to go up. That's when the bubble was going on in Queensland. So we were based up at Noosa, which was amazing.
I heard the stories coming out of Noosa. It was awesome. I was very jealous. We were on the Goldie, which wasn't that bad at all. But you guys looked like you had a sick time there,
right? we drew the long straw there. We were so lucky. But I wasn't playing footy, but I was training with so many good players and people and learning a lot. So for me, as frustrating as it was in 2020, I was still playing footy at home, which was amazing. And then in 21, I was able to train and learn so much my first year at the Storm. So I wouldn't say it was a bad thing for me, but I know a lot of people struggled because they felt like probably they lost a couple years in their progression. But luckily for me, I was able to get contracted and start training full time.
How'd you go with the camp? Because I know like Storm are notorious for having like the new recruits camp. How did they navigate that through COVID? Did they still do it?
Well, because I joined mid-year 21, 22 was my first preseason with them.
And that's when it kind of opened up a little bit, yeah?
Yeah. So it started back up that preseason. And I got out of it that first year.
Did you really?
Yeah. To be fair, I really wanted to do it to get it over with.
Sure.
But I had a little niggly injury and
Jeez, you're good, mate. The
yeah,
boys in here.
it probably didn't look good, but deep down I was so angry because I just wanted to get it done. You do it once and that's it. So I had it playing on my mind for another whole year.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then 23 preseason, I did it.
Yeah.
Mate, it's so tough, but it was a lot of good learnings coming out of it though.
What'd you learn from it?
Oh, I learned that mentally, like, that's probably the biggest thing. Like the first day and a half of it, I guess, is very physical and a lot of
3 day camp.
3 day
right?
camp, yeah, and pretty much no sleep, unless you fall asleep on accident on a bus ride or something. But I learned that like mentally you can probably push through a lot more than your body thinks. Yeah.
I remember we were talking about this morning, like even those multi-day like ultra marathon runners, like that race over in the States, I think it's called like the Moab 240 or 250. A guy called Max Joloffi won it this year or last year, and he brought out this really awesome documentary, like, and it was cool because it kind of incorporated like this cinematic like surf skate like style to it because he's from California, but the way he slept like 21 minutes over like 3 days, but then constantly, it's 240 miles. So it's like almost 500 Ks. And just the way they operate, like they're hallucinating, they're doing all that. And then like hearing about same sort of thing of like what you guys were doing when you like had to stand out watch or something. Like run me through that.
Yeah, well, like, mate, ours is like so easy compared to what you were talking about. Like,
I don't know if it was, bro.
You have so much like respect for people that do that stuff. Like, that's insane. But for us, like the last day, there's a few people have spoken about it before, but you sort of, there's obviously 2 nights. The second night, it's more like a mental burn. You pretty much dropped off. You're walking through this track in the bush and each person's just dropped off individually. And you have your own little area and you're supposed to stand guard for the whole night.
And just by yourself.
Yeah. And mate, it's like there was that many times I fell asleep but like just woke myself up because my head hit the ground or something like that. But like there was a lot of hard physical things, but I found that probably one of the hardest because you're just in your own thoughts and telling yourself you can't sleep, wanting to sleep so bad. And we were probably there for like maybe 6 hours or something like that, but it felt so much longer.
Yeah. Did any boys fall asleep?
Yeah, a couple did. I don't want to throw them under. I don't want to throw them under.
But what happened? What happens?
So it's funny. We ended up actually getting punished. We had to go to this like fence and get in like a dip position, like hold the fence backwards and dip down, legs out. So your whole upper body is just burning. And there was a few fellas that fell asleep and they had to sit on a lounge in front of us. And they pretty much just had to say their own apology. And a few of them were taking ages and were like,
mate, we get it.
Up, mate, come on. So they had to say, all apologise each. And then after they got think it was a can of Coke and a Tim Tam, and they had to eat that and drink the Coke, but they couldn't use their teeth, so they just had to lick the Tim Tam until it was
As you guys
all
were
gone.
still holding, man.
Mate, at the time it was so tough, but it's those sort of stories now that makes us laugh, and always good to bring up when you're having a beer as well.
But it's also like, it's so gnarly when you're in the thick of it like that, but then afterwards, like, you're just laughing. You're like, remember when such and such was like crying at some stage?
Yeah, right.
And it's just
it always comes up. Like,
it always comes up.
It's funny. Like, as hard as it was, it's so glad I did it.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of boys in other teams have that many stories about it, because hard times, but good times.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mate, tell me, I imagine that's probably like a big part of the culture. Like, you're at Dragons, but then you spent most of your career at Storm. Like, why does everyone talk about like this Storm culture? What is it about the Storm culture that everyone just like is in awe of?
Yeah, I don't know. It's such a good question, because I reckon it started when the club started.
Yeah.
Like, all the old boys, and I know you had Robbo on a couple of days ago, but like all those fellas that played earlier, and the ones that started the club, they probably set the foundations. And I've only been here for, I think this is my 4th year, and there's so many people that spent their whole career here and put so much effort into doing what they could to build such a strong club. But I think for me personally, like, a big one is there's not many like local people that, because Melbourne's obviously a massive AFL town and they love AFL, and there's not much rugby or rugby league. So it is getting bigger, and Storm's doing some great things in putting it out there, and there's a lot of new clubs starting up in the suburbs and everything. But I think the fact that not many people are local, everyone sort of moves from out of town. You're sort of forced to get along with each other, which is really good. And like, it'd be really hard for someone to move for work or just make a move in general to meet new people and everything. But we got it pretty good. Like, you're just thrown into a group of fellas and you're just pretty much forced to make friends.
Which is probably like the best way to do it, right? Like, and because like I even think about like even something so simple as like making friends as an adult, right? Like, which is like, it's a random piece, but I imagine there's probably like a lot of people who would like struggle with something like that. Like, and then I'm like, well, like, strip it right back. Like, someone's like, how do you make friends as an adult? Well, I imagine it's probably just like putting yourself in the environment of where you want to be. So it's just like, you guys want to be at the Storm, a heap of crew come together, and you're almost like forced to be in that environment.
Yeah.
Not forced, but you chose to be there.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I have one of my mates, Kai, he made the move to Goldie, lives in your building.
Yeah.
And my sister did as well. I have a lot of respect for them, because they just, bit the bullet and said, I'm going to do it. And I'm sure it would have been hard, like making friends and everything, but they're doing so well, and I'm sure they're better off for it.
And mate, I'm sure we'll pull you into the Gold Coast at some stage when you finish up in 10 years' time down the track.
Yeah. Well, it's a good spot.
Yeah, mate, it's
good lifestyle.
Even when I remember the other day for Mick Fanning's golf day, I walked down into the lobby of my building. There you are rolling in. I was like, what are you doing here? I've got Mick's day. I was like, we're on.
So sick.
Yeah.
We organised our way there. He said, how are you getting there? I was like, I was just going to Uber, but if you're going, I'll jump in with you.
Mate, it was a beautiful day as well.
It was a sick day.
Mate, rewinding back to your debut, right? I know that you did the camp in 2023. Mate, you run me through what it was like in 2022, right? When you've been there for about half a year. What was the feeling like when you got the call up to play?
Yeah, it was pretty surreal. Like, it's probably cliche, everyone sort of says it, but it's a call or a conversation you've always wanted to have, getting told that you're gonna play. But for me, it was sort of, I never got told I was playing, but Craig called me even before preseason started, and pretty much said, look, in the last round, Harry got suspended, I think, and so did Brandon Smith. So they were their two hookers. And he was like, we sort of looking through the list. We know you've played a fair bit of hooker. We want you to have a good preseason there, and you train hard enough, train well enough. You got an opportunity to earn your first game, and that was really good for me. Like, it was a lot of motivation and a good goal, and that sort of made it a lot easier because I knew it was there. Like, it was sort of like a dangling a carrot or something like that. But it was pretty cool when a week out he said you'll definitely be playing.
Man, that must be. Was there any like stress or anxiety about like not getting injured or like not getting in the lead up? Because that's obviously like playing in the back of your mind. Like, you've got the opportunity, you've just got to put your head down and get there, right?
Yeah.
Like,
honestly, I didn't think about that at all. It's funny, like when you're sort of in that zone, you probably don't think about it. I reckon when you think about it, that's when stuff probably happens.
For sure, right?
So luckily I wasn't thinking about that. But if it did, you can't dwell on it for too long. Like, things happen.
Man, I remember we had Victor Radley on end of last year, and he said the exact same thing because he went through this string of getting like head knocks and like concussions. And he was almost like feeding into it, like saying like, why do I keep getting these? And like, he's like looking at his tackle tape, looking at all of these things, and he would like keep getting these head knocks. And then I think he said the way he explained is like, it's probably like not the healthiest way to look at it. But Dylan Napa said to him something like, mate, like screw it, like what will be. And he just sort of took that on, and he sort of just like, he's like, throw it all in. Like if you're going to do something, go all in with it. Yeah. And so he kind of did it and just like brushed the consequences. But then he like didn't get them, and because he wasn't thinking about it. Yeah. And I was like, that's so interesting. Yeah, it's kind of like, I think they call it like Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law is like when you like almost like manifest or like think about something that's going to happen, like oftentimes it actually does happen.
It's like when you have like, if you've done your shoulder, like an AC or you got a corked leg, like something like that. Yeah. You're just thinking about it, like, and it feels like there's a target on it because it is sore. But yeah, if you don't think about it, it's strange how things don't happen. But it's obviously different it's easy to say that, with a smaller injury, but obviously when people do bigger ones, it's probably a bit harder to cop.
I also reckon you could probably flip that as well. Instead of like manifesting the negative, you probably also like, not probably, I genuinely believe that you can probably manifest like all the good stuff to happen as well.
Yeah.
Is that something you subscribe with at all?
Yeah, I think so. Like, injury-wise, I've been so lucky. Like, haven't had too many issues. I've had shoulder surgery and everything, but that was when I was younger. So that was a good learning, I guess, as well. Yeah. But the more positive you are, the better things always are.
Mate, I swear things just like come into your space. Like, even now we're talking about like how fucking fortunate enough that we could like be able to go surf in the morning. We don't have any stress. Like, we go to coffee and we're rolling in to have a chat now. Like, we get to play professional sport. We get to be helped. Like, we are very fortunate, right? And then I think that little bit about being grateful for that stuff and being present is like, it's got to be like part of the key, right?
Sure, yeah. I think you nailed it. Like, if you're just doing it and going about your day and not reminding yourself how lucky and, fortunate we are to do those things. Like for us, like it was a solid drive, but we got there, we were frothing, we were so happy. And for sure you nailed it. Like, the more positive you are, the better. And sometimes you just got to remind yourself that, hey.
Yeah, man. It's even looking at crew who've been through really gnarly circumstances. Like, I remember we were talking in the car on the way back from Torquay. I think you said like, who has been some like crazy stories that you've had on? And I remember the two were Courtney Ugle and Morgan Mitchell, both around domestic violence. And which were really gnarly episodes. And I remember telling you, it's hard to like navigate the conversations when they are so heavy, but like you hear those stories and it makes you realize like how incredibly lucky we are and how more crazy it can be, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like that's when I said to you, like, puts things in perspective, and I've been very fortunate and very lucky, you know, to have the people I have in my life are you know, so good. I got a good network of people. Obviously, got my family. Got a very tight knit friend group back home who I grew up with, and yeah, they're amazing. And then obviously the people you meet through sport.
Yeah,
that's probably one of the best parts of it, eh?
Yeah, the crew, like even footy, like this whole thing happened. Like us going for a wave in the morning, like it comes out of playing footy.
Yeah,
like and
yeah,
that I reckon is probably the coolest thing about professional sport. Is just like the people, not only like cool like sporting crew, but like just like cool good people, like good crew, right?
Yeah,
and even like like even living with Harry and like the Storm guys, like that's a good crew to be a part of.
Yeah, definitely. It's yeah, that's something very lucky for as well. Like the people involved in the club.
Yeah.
Not only the playing group. Like we got good relationships with, you know, staff, obviously coaches, but also like the commercial staff. Like they're all good people.
Yeah.
We're pretty lucky to be a part of the club.
Mate, on similar themes of having a good crew, we've got a voice question from the bro Cal, which I'll play.
T-Bone, I'm about to get a bit deep here, mate, but throughout your journey of achieving your dream of playing in the NRL, when did you feel the most alone, and what are some of the things you did to keep you motivated and stay on track and just keep working on that ultimate goal of, you know, playing in the NRL?
It's a good question, bro.
It's a great question.
It's a great question.
He did. He went deep.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, thanks, Cal. That's that was a good surprise.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, like I said before, I honestly feel like I haven't been alone at all. Like I've got my family. Very lucky I can talk to them about anything. And I haven't really had too many issues or problems that made me feel, you know, alone or like I couldn't talk to anyone. And probably a testament to my family, friends. Like I just feel like I could always talk to them, and I wasn't alone. But probably, I guess, through like 2020 when there was uncertainty about, like, I'd just done my first NRL preseason, thought I, you know, made a big step in I guess the pursuit of playing NRL, but then not getting a top spot, not getting a full-time contract, and then you know, the comp getting cancelled, and I was like, what am I going to do? Like I won't be able to play footy, but I never really lost. Like I kept training, had mates that I kept training with, and because we just weren't sure whether the competition was going to start back or whatever. But luckily, within a town, you know, Gerringong's only like 4,000 or 5,000 people. We were still able to hang out and ended up playing footy together.
But I imagine there's probably like two ways that you can look at it, right? Like I imagine you can go like glass half full, like, yeah, I get to play with my mates and still train. Like you were still training, you were still working towards that big goal. But you could also like go on the other way of glass half empty, which I'm sure a lot of us could do sometimes. It's just like throw on the towel and just be like, oh, I didn't get the top 30, I'm just going to pack it in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and a lot of people probably do, but I've just always loved playing. Like,
yeah, I was going to say, where does that come from? Do you reckon that's just like innately in us, or do you reckon that can be built over time?
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely think it can be built, but it's probably just like a competitive thing as well. You always want to challenge yourself, and that's probably where I feel I get it from. Probably just being a little bit competitive and wanting to try and do things like at the highest standard, I guess. And for me, that was trying to crack NRL, and play week in, week out. Which for a while I wasn't sure. Like I always wanted to keep giving it a crack, but early days, like I said before, like 22 is so young. But at the time when I was like 20, I was like, what's going on? Like this isn't going to plan. And I'm sure so many people think the same thing. Like, I got so much respect for someone like Bronson Garlick, who, he kept doing that until I think he debuted at 26.
Crazy.
And he's had an amazing career now.
Yeah.
He just kept fighting, and it's the type of person he is. A lot of respect for people like that.
How do you go about reassessing your goals? Because obviously the first goal was to like play NRL. You got to make your NRL debut. How do you go reassessing them? Is that something that you do every year? Is like, all right, now I've played. Oh, now I want to play weekly, week in, week out. How do you reassess that?
Yeah, I've sort of done a bit of like I'd write out goals and everything, but I probably wasn't the best at. Sometimes I'd set them too high, and you wouldn't hit them, and you'd be like, "Well, was it a successful year?" But looking at some of the goals, you'd be like, looking at this sheet, probably wasn't a successful year, but personally, I feel like it was. So I did that for probably a year or two, and I sort of just set my own goals, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm not too big on, writing them down and everything. But it's a space that I probably should look at for sure.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of benefits around it. But like early days, I think my first season I played 15 games, and second season was the same. Going into my third, like the second season, that was one of my goals.
Yeah.
I wanted to play every game.
Yeah.
And didn't. So that's where you sort of start thinking, was it a successful year?
Yeah.
But then I was like, stuff it, that's still my goal for 24. And then luckily I was able to. But I didn't put too much pressure on myself, and there was a lot of injuries and everything, and that's part of it. Like, you're in the position like I was, utility, and there was a lot of injuries, and I was able to get a bit of opportunity through that.
How do you go being a utility, right? Like you are exposed to like a heap of different like positions. How do you go being confident to play quality footy? Because you're obviously in like a super high performing team. How do you go like being so diverse and wanting to be good in each one of those positions? Because I imagine there's only so much time to train in like a hooker role, say, versus like a fullback or versus like a halfback, or in the like. How do you navigate that?
Yeah. Well, you said quality. There's probably there's a lot of games that hasn't been quality.
Yeah. You're very humble, brother.
No, there is a few games that I'd want back. But everyone has them, but I'm not sure. Like for me, I've never really played that utility until I got to the Storm, and I sort of saw there was a bit of an opportunity there, and the coaches said the same thing. So whenever there was an opportunity somewhere, I just tried to do whatever I could to let them know I was keen to play there. Or I probably owe a lot of that to my dad's like massive on one of his things. He always says, like if there's an opportunity, like put your hand up. I probably get that from him. He sort of drove that into us when we were pretty young. But like playing wing or centre or whatever the position is that I didn't play too much, I'd just try, and if there was an opportunity in a game or whatever, I'd sort of just narrow my focus and do what I had to, I guess, just to do my part in the team.
Yeah. Practically, from like a practical standpoint, is there things that you do throughout the week where it's just like, is it more video? Is it talking to guys who are in that position prior? Like, I'm thinking from like a practical point
Yeah.
of view, like in that space. How did you go about that?
Yeah, I'd always sort of do. Early days, I probably didn't do enough. You sort of don't want to. You don't want to like step on anyone's toes in a way, because a lot of those positions are 80-minute positions. So I wouldn't want to go up to, one of the centers or the fullback and be like, oh, can I have a go in here? Because they're probably used to training those positions full time. So I'd sort of just do things on the side, like, whether it be like a few catches after training. Just to, if I was to play wing or fullback in a game, that I've done, I checked off 10 catches through the week. Like I'm good to go.
Sure.
So I'd probably just a few checklists like through the week. A big one for me is like the big day we have before a game, which is 3 days out. I just like to get a few things that I've sort of set in my mind that I wanted to do.
Like what? Give me an example.
So like this year, I'll do 10 catches, just in case I get thrown into a position that involves catching. Bit of kicking. I'll do, a certain amount of kicks, some passing, and then just some tackling. Like I'll try and get someone that's a bit bigger than me. Otherwise, it might be like not 100%, please. But that's our big day of training. So I'll try and get through a bit of work there, and then that's good for me and my, I guess, my mentality going into the game, because there's no worse feeling than feeling underdone,
mate.
So that helps me a bit. Yeah,
I think that's probably such an awesome takeaway into like just having to put the work in to be quality in whatever you want to do, right? Like if you want to be good at it doesn't have to just be sport, but whatever your thing is, like whether it's, in business or it's in sport or music or whatever, like having to do the reps. I remember I've quote this all the time, but I should know this guy. He's an NBA player and he talks about like stacking days. I want to say like Paul Carter, but I know I'm butchering it. But he has like that idea of like stacking days, like day after day, like doing the reps and getting it in. And then after like 5-10 years, you've got like this incredible masterpiece of this person who's just so good at what they're doing because they've been doing it for so long, right?
Yeah.
And then like looking at like you now, you're like what, 26 now. Mate, you got so much time. Like what's next? Like what does this next phase of Tyran look like?
Yeah. Well, I'm 25.
25. So, I didn't mean to give you an extra year, bro.
No, I'm 26 in November, so it's coming up. But like obviously I want to, like anyone, you want to be playing at your best, and eventually it'd be nice to start and play full games. But for me at the moment, like, it's just trying to play my best footy that I can to help the team, and that's a good mentality that we have. If you do your part, and everyone does their part, usually good things happen. But who knows what's next? Still got another year at the Storm, and obviously not sure. Hopefully I stay because it's a great club. But honestly, it's very uncertain. Not sure what's next.
What about off the field? Anything that's exciting you?
Honestly, since I finished doing my uni degree, I've sort of just enjoyed being able to do my thing. And
so good, hey?
Yeah, because that was, when I was working and playing footy part time as well. It was always there in the back of my mind, like got to go home and try and knock out this assignment. But
it's so beneficial, but it sucks.
Yeah, 100%. So I don't have anything planned around that sort of space yet. I'll definitely try and do something, but I don't know. I'll just keep doing the things that I enjoy doing. And for me, that's surfing, golf. I like going home. I haven't done that enough this year. But we got in a few weeks, we got a game in Sydney and we got a few days off. So I'll head home and see the fam. But yeah, not too sure.
From the outside looking in, it looks like your balance is just perfect. Like it's so refreshing to see. Like, obviously, you guys are having like a heap of success at the Storm, and I know how hard you guys train, and you guys are so dialed in. But just seeing like you and Haz, like that clip that you guys put up, going down surfing down south. I'm like, the boys have got it. Like, boys have got it dialed in. It's like the perfect balance of like ripping in, but then also having that downtime, because I think it's important. Like, I do think getting away from your thing gives you like that freshen energy and bit more clarity. Do you reckon?
Yeah. I think everyone's different. Like, some people benefit on their day off.
Yeah.
They feel like they benefit from, going into the club again and doing what they need to do. They might have a checklist that they get through, but I still like doing that stuff, like being professional and all trying to be anyway. But for me, like resetting and having a day or an arvo to just cruise and do what I enjoy doing is important for me. There's a fair few boys who are the same. But yeah, everyone's different.
It's
like,
so true.
I don't know, like some people you see videos of like Steph Curry.
Yeah.
And he's like, last game of the year, he has a day or whatever, and then he's back into it.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's obviously why he's one of the best. But for me, I like sort of, whether it's, 2 days out from a game on our day off, just doing what I like doing. Golf, I'm not good at it, but I enjoy it. Surfing, hanging out with friends and whatever. That's what makes me happy.
I subscribe to that, bro. Any surf trips on the card this off season coming up?
No, not really. I do want to. I'm starting to plan a trip to Europe potentially. I think there should be a bit of surf in Portugal at that time.
Yeah.
But no, not really. The last few years I've been to a few cool places. Like went to Krui in South Sumatra. Went to Lakey Peak a couple years ago in Sumbawa. Just places around like Indonesia that are amazing. I'd love to do I know you've been to Mentawais on a boat trip. I did that when I was young. I'd love to do that again. It just never really aligns when you're playing footy because peak season's right in the middle.
Mate, I think to be honest, like that's why I think you'll thrive when you finish up footy, because you got so much more time. If to go away, I mean, you don't have that much more time because you do have a lot of time when you are playing, but like the ability to be able to like go travel the world and seeing like that, like we are in like kind of this little bubble here in Oz. Like we have it so good. Like, don't get me wrong, we've got the most beautiful beaches, but it is so cool to get out and like go to Portugal and go see different places and like even surf in really remote places. I was talking to my partner about this recently, and it's like if we could just like set up our life where we can just like travel and surf and do like cool things, like cool expeditions and activations and fun things, like that's a golden circle, right?
Yeah, definitely. I probably like I love going to other places and seeing other places, and I probably don't do it enough.
Yeah.
So for me, it's we're pretty lucky. Like as professional sports people, like we get that time at the end off season. Every sport's different. Like we get a couple months to do our thing, and which is we're all pretty lucky for that. But it's just making the most of it and pulling the trigger and going to new places. So that's what I want to try and start doing more.
Well, bro, I'm glad you took me to talk here this morning. I'm glad we got a beautiful little wave in. Mate, before we wrap things up, is there anything that you'd like to touch on before we finish it up?
No, I'm happy, mate.
Very well, mate. Thank you so much for coming on today. It was cool to spend the day, and then I'm looking forward you to just crushing the back end of the year and hearing about the Europe stories, bro.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate you having me. Appreciate the day.
Done.
It's been sick.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, mate.